well led, of course, the superstructure will become a problem, and that is where we are here. I am not in any way saying that we couldn't have got it right, but we got it wrong by overlooking the foundation, which is the school system. They are still the foundation, which if we need to get it right, we must go back to the basis. When people keep talking about basis, when people say the round table, I keep laughing. Where is the round table? The school system. The school system need to be given their right place and empowered by legislation for them to do it right. If we do it, we get it right.
Making his debut as a weekend director, how are you?
I'm fine.
He's saying it is the legislation that they have not been empowered, and it is not the school system. That the system is there, that is new. So why do you believe that it is the school system that is giving us all the problems that we're having?
Yeah, if we were to look back at past events before now, we would see, even looking at other countries, the school system remains the fundamental. It remains the basic. And if we don't take it seriously, you can't win medals. That is why we have the pool of talents. So, it has nothing to do with the legislation or legislature. No. It is, like I say, we have to look at the Ministry of Education. We also have to look at the principals, look at the colleges, the inter-sport competitions. They have to be revived. It has nothing to do with the government. If we can revive these basic competitions, if we can look at them intrinsically, then we can rejuvenate our sports from there. Then we can begin to look at the government and enshrining some things in the constitution. But before that, we have to go back to the basics. We have to get inter-sports going. We have to get the Nuga games going. Even before looking at the sports festival. If we don't do this, then we can start going to the government. Looking at Usain Bolt. Before the Jamaican government looked at him, he had already won youth championships before they took him to Kingston. So if we don't look at the basic truth, if we don't look at the foundation, then we are not doing anything. Then we can't go anywhere.
Maybe. Do you need it? Yes, the floor is open, but I want to throw this question before you guys start battle. He says, do you need legislation for us to start inter-house sport competition and take it seriously?
No, the truth is, we have been doing inter-house
sports. The floor is open.
We have collegiate sports, we have collegiate association, we have the School Sports Federation of Nigeria. It's all there. They are all there.
Are they functioning?
If they are doing what they are doing, but again, let's go back to America, which is my model whenever I make reference to civilized community. In America today, no matter your talent, if you didn't pass through the collegiate, you cannot. Mark that word, you cannot represent the United States of America, and that is by legislation. They didn't come by accident. The American government made it a must for every citizen. You must pass through the 4 walls of the school system, and from there you gain whatever exposure. Let us not go too far. By tomorrow, you started by saying that our hope is shifting. The person Chika Chukwumerije will be fighting is FISU champion last year. And you ask yourself, where is our own priority? We can't get it right. It's not a matter of the school system cannot. Let me just tell you,
right.
You and I have passed through there. There is always a curriculum.
The government cannot do much if we as individuals cannot take this thing seriously. It's the mentality. We have to get back to the roots. We have to believe in ourselves. There has to be an orientation, a reorientation.
The orientation you will get.
If the American government, if they enforced it,
yeah,
and the Americans themselves, if they refused to do what the government has asked them to do, if the mentality wasn't there, it wouldn't have worked.
What do you mean by
we have to come down? We have to come back.
No, who shaped mentality?
Individuals.
It's not individual. That is where the society.
You cannot force it to drink.
You see.
No matter the legislation, no matter the law.
Once there is a legislation, it's the state that owns the citizen. They are the one that say this is, like I said, America. In America, it doesn't really matter. I made a point the other time. Somebody should go back to the system and ask. In 1998, when University of Lagos hosted Nuga and won, what was the vice chancellor then, later Professor Omotola did? He asked his sports officer, go to the street, look at people who are talented. Are you following?
Does that have to do with legislation? You're talking about individual here.
Wait. It's not about
That is where we have to go to.
Go there and fetch them.
A second, please. I would use
them.
I would use the same boat as an example.
Give them that.
Let me use boats. Let me give you.
Okay, all right.
We are all celebrating boats today. Boat was, I can say, one of the most unserious athletes when he was like budding, when he was growing. His coach Pablo McNeil had to like do everything humanly possible to get boat training, but boat simply refused. He was caught with his mischievous attitudes. But along the line, they tried their best, and today boat is being said. Did the American government come around to help boat develop?
These are exceptional.
No.
Exceptional.
Boat won the national championships. He won the junior championship. He won the Caribbean championship. Before the American, because
should
the
it be a
American
model?
We are
Out of
celebrating
10.
him.
No, out of 10, you will always see exception. But when you want to, you see,
all right.
Blake.
No.
Okay. Let us.
Montgomery.
No. Okay. I know all that. I want to ask you this, Zubi.
Okay.
Humphrey is saying here that mass participation, compliance, policy. That if government says, okay, before with the school now, before we approve a school, you must have a field. You must have if you have teachers for chemistry, for physics, for computer, and even for music, you must have a coach. I mean, shouldn't that go a long way by to see what Humphrey is trying to say?
This is what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
If you put all these things in place and individuals refuse to comply, if they refuse to take it seriously, then it cannot work.
He's talking about both of you give the same examples now. He talked about the coach of Usain Bolt. And you also gave the example of a vice chancellor who went out of his way to say, okay, fine, we could lower the standard for you to enter school and get those things done. Do we still have those committed individuals in the schools, or those who just want to say, we have computer, we have computer?
They are all there. It's a matter of priority. We look at what is going on. How many people or athletes who have passed through I just made an example of the Cuban, which Chikume region will pass.
Okay.
This FISU game, we participate in it year in, year out. How many people, how many athletes, how many students who pass through this institution that actually represent Nigeria? I made the example of America. It's a law. You can't represent America
without being in the college.
Without being in the college.
All right.
And the enablement is backed by law.
All right. They said the lines are open. You will get the lines right there on the screen.
Even
because we want to hear your contribution.
Even Chinese,
has this school system collapsed? We blame them for this cul-de-sac that we are in. What do? We want to hear your call. We want to hear you. Give it to us. Bear your mind. No holdbacks. This is a no holdback conversation.
So,
all right,
Mr. Humphrey, let me give you a point. If you go through the curriculum of Ministry of Education, you will discover that this is already saying it's already in legislation. It's already there. Mind you, I'm coming.
Okay.
But can you believe that it's not being complied with? I am an educationist.
Okay.
By profession. I run a school. I know how it functions. I can tell you facts. You can go and make your findings. Before a school gets approved, you have to have a field.
Okay.
But
okay,
that is what.
So legislation is there.
I'm coming.
Okay.
It's there already. That is what they tell you. But still, people get their schools approved without these things being in place. And even those that have it don't make use of them. I can remember as far back as 1996, while I was in school, there's this guy we call Yellow. He was one of the best athletes we had. We had a very big field in my school. I saw Yellow like a few years back, and I asked him, "What's up, guy? You still into athletics?" He said, "No." Why? No encouragement. 2, no finance. 3, no funds.
In that legislation, I ask you this, Zubi, in that legislation that you said, okay, you should have a field. Is there also, somewhere that I said, by the time they want to check your staff, that you must have coaches that can teach at the athletic football or whatever, you have qualified coaches? Is it there? It's there. He said it's there. It's there. He said it's there. I hope you come next time and you bring those things so that we can show that.
I am not disputing.
Okay.
I equally have preview to some of
because we are also in the academy.
Are you following?
Okay.
It's one thing legislating something. You and I, when professional football started in Nigeria, one of the clause says that in 10 years' time,
you must have your stadium. Yeah.
We have
1979.
We have practiced over 20 years.
1979 till now. Yes.
Not even a club. Are you following? So it's one thing having a legislation. It's another thing that is having the will.
That's why you're about the enforcement.
Okay. That will comes from what does the state represented by its government want. America does not just make a law; they follow it up, and that is what we are lacking. Good enough. In the school system, university primary school, we have PE, they call it PE, which is physical education, which they do every day. But what is the commitment to government to ensure for you to be able to represent your country? You have no other shortcut other than
will.
So that will is not the state that we empower.
Before we came in here, somebody sent me a text, and he says, after reading this topic on Facebook, he said the British government has put forward for £1 billion for the next Olympics in their school system.
That's the will.
In their school system.